Our next story is about Hamza Yusuf, the new leader of the Scottish National Party. He will replace Nicola Sturgeon as the First Minister of Scotland. This was the moment when he made history.
I therefore declare Hamza Yusuf duly elected as the Scottish National Party leader. Congratulations, Hamza. And I now invite you up to say a few words.
He's all of 37 years old, the youngest person and the first Muslim to lead Scotland. The poignancy of the moment was not lost on him and his family. Hamza Yusuf is the son of a Pakistani immigrant. His father moved to Glasgow in the 1960s. His grandfather, who used to work in a sewing factory, barely spoke English when he arrived in Scotland. And today, Yusuf will lead Scotland and its struggle for independence. On the other side of the negotiating table will be this man, Rishi Sunak, the Indian origin Prime Minister of the UK. And we're just getting started. The Mayor of London is Sadiq Khan, also the son of Pakistani immigrants. So the three most powerful people in the UK today trace their roots to the erstwhile British Raj. The most prominent British person today, who is not of colour, is probably King Charles. And you know you're on thin ice when you have to depend on Charles to make your case. Then we have neighbouring Ireland, again led by an Indian origin Prime Minister. His name is Leo Varadkar. And this is the rise of the natives, the same people who were once called rogues and rascals. These were the words of one of Britain's most celebrated Prime Ministers, Winston Churchill. He called Indians rogues and rascals. This was back in 1947 when he argued against India's independence. Churchill said, and I quote, "If independence is granted to India, power will go to the hands of rascals, rogues, freebooters. All Indian leaders will be of low caliber and men of straw." But Churchill and the might of British imperialism could not stop an idea whose time had come, the idea of an independent India. And the much-fated British politician could not have been more wrong. Churchill made his bigoted comment in 1947. In 2022, these so-called low-caliber men of straw led India to overtake the United Kingdom to become the fifth largest economy in the world. So we say to Winston Churchill, we did just fine. But Britain, perhaps, had such a dearth of caliber that it had to import its leaders and its hot-footing to its former colonies to fill the void. How delicious is the irony. It's no surprise that social media cannot keep calm. The meme floodgates have opened. On a more serious note, the possible partition of the UK, with Scotland seeking to break away, could very well be brokered by two persons of colour, one of Indian origin and the other of Pakistani origin. Scottish independence is top of Yusuf's agenda. He made that clear in his victory speech.
And my solemn promise and commitment to you is that I will kickstart our grassroots, our civic-led movement, and ensure our drive for independence is in fifth gear. The people of Scotland need independence now more than ever before, and we will be the generation that delivers independence for Scotland.
According to a local poll, about 4 in every 10 people in Scotland support independence. Of course, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is less enthusiastic about it. He rejected the call for another Scottish referendum on independence. But his spokesperson said that Sunak is, quote-unquote, looking forward to working with Yusuf. Last year, the UK Supreme Court passed an order. It said that the Scottish government cannot hold an independence referendum. The last one was held in September 2014. 55% of the voters wanted to remain with the UK. So the task is cut out for the newly minted Scottish First Minister. And while the subcontinent rejoices in the rise of another one of its sons, the road ahead for Yusuf is far from cheerful. In 2016, he wore a gold-embroidered sherwani and a kilt when he took oath in the Scottish Parliament. But now, as the First Minister of Scotland, he will have to deliver beyond the optics, because the struggle for independence is a long and arduous process, and the British have a proclivity for power. Just ask India.
Yes, no force can stop an idea which its time has arrived. That is what we are saying about Biafra. The restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra is an idea which its time has come. That is why the indigenous people of Biafra, ably led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been championing and agitating for self-determination through a peaceful referendum, just like the Scottish people have exercised before, just like the British people also exercised when they left the European Union. Therefore, we use this opportunity to ask the Nigerian Supreme Court to rescue itself of this shame of lawlessness that has engulfed the Nigerian state, because the Court of Appeal in Abuja in Nigeria on the 13th day of October 2022 discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, of all charges brought against him by the Nigerian state. But still, till today, Nigerian executive arm of government, by the DSS, Nigerian Secret Service, has continued to violate these court rulings and continues to detain, to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a solitary confinement against court pronouncement. We use this opportunity to ask the Nigerian state to obey her own court order and free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should not be delayed, because further detention is a continual violation of his fundamental rights. Therefore, if Nigeria is really practicing democracy, Nigeria must abide by the tenets of the rule of law. And the rule of law requires a state to obey orders made by her own competent court of jurisdiction. This is our message today. Remember that today is another Tweet Tuesday for IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra Worldwide. A day we use to tell the world our predicaments, the reasons why we are agitating for self-determination, to be free out of Nigeria, to be able to control our destiny. Because as it is today, we ran out of our homeland, out of our communities, out of our ancestral land, because of the Nigerian deliberate policies to see that we run away. That is the reason why we agitate to restore our nation of Biafra that has existed for thousands of years. Today is another Twitter Tuesday. Join the trend of our tweeting comrades. Create an account if you don't have any. It is free. It is very, very important that we make use of this Twitter, because in the 1967, when the British government executed a land and sea blockade on Biafra, whereby more than 5 million Biafra people were killed, and this news and all the genocide that was committed against Biafra, we are covered because we have no access to the media. Today, we are very, very in advantageous position because we have the social media. That is why we have to utilize the Twitter, because it is more direct to this world, the world of hypocrisy, where you have the United Nations sitting idly watching our people are being killed for protesting for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let us utilize this Twitter and inform the world about what is going on. It is not that they are going to come and help us. Rather, it is just to put them on notice. Thank you as you join us. Create a Twitter account and join Biafrans to tweet or to retweet. That is the message to you today. Thank you. All hail Biafra.